Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We will continue from where we left. So we'll continue from where we left, and okay. So this is where we were. Okay. So all إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا ذلول تثير الأرض ولا تسقي الحرث مسلمة لا شيئة فيها. So قال, they said, قال, he said, Musa alayhi salam said, Innahu yaqulu, indeed Allah says, Innaha, indeed it is Baqarah, la dhalulun. Dhalul actually means to be humiliated. And when we know that anybody, once it is enslaved, he is humiliated. So he was that cow was not humiliated to do any work, which means it was not trained. Tuthirul arda, to plow the earth. So whenever anybody has cattle, cow, or oxes, those animals are used to plow the earth and used for farming purposes. So Allah made it clear that it should not be trained. Now it was getting very difficult to them. Dhalulun tusirul ard, it was not trained to plow the earth. Wala taskil hars, nor to irrigate the fields. So sometimes water was used with the cattle, and then that water was used for the fields. Musallamatun, free of any fault. Musallam comes from the root word of sallama yusallimu, right? On the second form. Allama yuallimu, muallim, musallam. Musallamatul la shi'ata, no spot. Fiha, upon her. So now it was made more difficult for them to sort of do it, because now that the conditions were so many that it was not plowed, it was not used to plow. So now from the story, we know that there was a pious person who used to take all his earnings the halal way, and when he was about to die, he had a small calf, and that calf, so he made a wasiya to his wife that keep this calf away, so that when this boy will, one of his sons will become big, then he will be able to utilize that cow. And when that boy becomes big, the mother sends him to the forest and asks him to search for the cow, and he gets the cow, and then he stays with that cow, and he gets his earnings from cutting trees, and then part of it he gives to his mother, part of it he keeps for himself, and part of it he does charity with. And that's why this cow, since he did not have any land, this cow was not used to plow the earth, right? So it was for this that this boy was taking care of the cow. And apparently from the other stories, which is not authenticated, but that cow was sold for the weight of the gold, and that is what this young boy got instead of the cow. So that was the story behind the how that cow was there, and how that cow was not used for plowing, and how it did not have any stains or cuts or any defects in the body, because it was not used for any purposes. Okay, so la shi'ata fiha. Qalul ana ji'ta bil haqq. Qalu, they said, al ana, now, ji'ta bi means you have brought. Ja'a means to come, ja'a bi means to bring. Now the ja'a is followed by bi, so you brought al haqq, you brought the truth. That means you have come with the truth. فَذَبَحُوهَا, so they slaughtered it. وَمَا كَادُوا يَفْعَلُونَ, and not they were going to do it, which means they were almost not going to do it, but that means they did it. Kada yaqudu, it is when it is come with a negative form, they were not going to do it, which means they actually did it, but they did not want to do it. Okay. Okay, so let us take, I think most of you have done. So Qazi sahab, aap isko karenge?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا ذلول قال إنه يقول, he said, indeed he says, إنها بقرة, it is a cow, لا ذلول تثير الأرض. Neither paint to plow the earth. ولا تسقي الحرث, nor to irrigate the field. مسلمة لا شية فيها, one free from fault, with no spot upon her. قالوا الآن جئت بالحق. They said, now you have come with the truth. فذبحوها وما كادوا يفعلون. So they slaughtered it and they were not near to doing it.
Right, mashallah. So kadu is almost not. So it is like almost. So when you say almost done it, which means did not do it, and when you say almost not done it, which means did it. Right. So that is how the kadu word is used in the Arabic form. Right. So in a saying, you have to differentiate the kaf and qaf. So it should be olu, not kalu. Olu. So it has to be a little more from the deeper part, and the mouth has to become round. Olu and olu. We have to just practice because it's very not kalu. Olu.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. So
Qalu.
olu. Little more. Your mouth should become a little round.
Qalu.
So Allah described the cow in more details here. It is not trained to plow, it does not water, and it is sound without any blemishes. Simultaneously, he made it tougher for them. If they had listened to the first order, any cow would be have fulfilled the requirement, but the questioning made it their life more difficult. Now they had to look for a cow which fulfilled 3 color conditions and 3 additional conditions, as it is mentioned here. So one should therefore not be an extremist when it comes to the matters of deen. Again, they showed the lack of respect, as if he was talking false or joking earlier. Remember the first comment, Atattakhizuna huzwa. In fact, they were taking Musa alayhi salam and the commandments of Allah in joke. Right? So it is the other way around, in fact. They were not near to doing it. It shows that their unwillingness to do it. So this surah is named Surah Al-Baqarah. And for the naming this, it is that this surah, Allah gives Muslims different commands on how to be a true Khalifa. So the name should remind us of the story and also remind us not to behave like the Bani Israel by avoiding, twisting or neglecting Allah's orders, by coming up with useless excuses and interpretations. So let's take another hadith related to it. So on the authority of Abu Khalaba al-Husani, Jurthum bin Nashir, that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, verily Allah has laid down religious obligations, that is fara'id, so do not neglect them. And he has set limits so that do not overstep them. And he has forbidden some things, so do not violate them. And he has remained silent about some things out of compassion for you, not forgetfulness, so do not seek after them. So if we start, a lot of people they start they start dissecting out the things in so much detail that then they get stuck into it. That's why just follow the commands in a simple way. If you try to complicate it, Allah will make it more complicated for you. So whenever you get a command, just follow it. Don't try to dissect it out so much so that then you get stuck with it, like the Bani Israel got stuck, and then they had only one cow in the whole of their place for which they could slaughter. We could meet all these conditions, and since they had to weigh that cow in gold, it became so expensive for them to do that zabiha. Okay. So they said, pray to your Lord to make it clear to us what it is. Indeed, all cows look alike. And indeed, if Allah wills, we will surely be guided. Here again, this here you see this al-Baqarah. So your Baqarah here also is actually cow, but it is it doesn't have the ta marbuta here. And here it has a Baqarah that has it, and that's where Musallamata is also the feminine form that is used. So here Musa says, it is a cow neither trained to plow the earth nor water the field, sound with no blemish on it. They said, now you have come with the truth, so they slaughtered it, though they were not, near not to doing it. So Bani Israel kept behaving wrongly with Musa alayhi salam. Allah Ta'ala kept answering their questions but added more requirements. They slaughtered the cow very unwillingly. So they saw as the questions came, Allah Ta'ala started making it more difficult for them. So help me be patient with the people. And inshallah, I will try to remember the models of the Prophet ﷺ and Musa alayhi salam when people behave badly with us. So when people are doing wrong things to us, we have to be patient on that. And if we are getting angry, we say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So the Asman Af'al, Baqarah, Baqara, and Baqarat, both are the plural. Baqarah and Baqara is both singular, and the plurals are Baqarat. Zabaha, Yazbahu, Izbah, Zabih, Mazbuh, Zibah, and Zabah. That is already seen. Fa'ala, Yaf'alu, If'al, Fa'il, Maf'ul, Fi'l. And now we have trained Zalla, Yazillu, Zilla, Zalul. Passive is not there. Zilla or Zulla, both are there. Saqa is on the base of Hada. Saqa, Yaski, Iski, Saqin, Masqiyun, and Saqayun. Sorry, Saqyun. Then we have Ja'a on the pattern of Zada. So Ja'a, Yaji'u, Ji. Ji ayawmaizim bi Jahannam will be brought, right? So Ja'a, Ji. So Ja'a, Yaji'u, Ji, Ji, Ja'in, and then we have Maji'ah, bringing together. Kada, Yakadu, and that Kada, I have told you, one we have Kada, Yakadu, which means almost, and Kada, Yakidu, which means to plot. Past tense is same Kada, the present tense will change. Yakadu is, it means almost, and Yakidu means plan. Yakidu Kaida, we have in Surah Tariq. So Kaudun is almost. Then we have Bayyana, we have seen this before. Tashabaha is the sixth form on the pattern of Tadarasa. Tashabaha, Yatashabahu, Tashabih, Mutashabihun, and Tashabahun. Then we have Ihtada. So Ihtada, Yahtadi, Ihtadi, Muhtadin, Muhtada, and Ihtada. Athara, Yuthiru is on the pattern of Aslama, Yuslimu. Thara, root words are Tha, Wawra. This is here Tusiru, right? Tusiru. Here we have a Kasra here, right? In Tuhmaru we had a Fatha. Okay, that's a difference. So Asara, Yuthiru, Athir, Muthirun, Musarun, Isarah. Then we have Sallama, Yusallimu, Sallim, Musallim, Musallam, and Taslim on the Bab Allam. Okay, right. So that completes the Quran part for today. Then we can shift over to the grammar part. Both sessions we have to take the 9D grammar, and this word we have actually done before. We have discussed this before when it had come, because it's a very commonly coming word. Ata, ata. Ata we saw is to come, and ata means to give. So today we are going to be studying ata. So this is the story that we have made. Ta'lim and muhasaba are very important in Islam. Allama, hasaba, aslama. Do not waste your time in ikhtilaf. Ikhtilaf, use it in istighfar. Ikhtalafa and istaghfara. Do tadabbur and tadarus to have better inqilab towards Allah. So tadabbara, tadarasa we had today, tashabaha on this pattern, and inqalaba. So these are the words that we have done till now. Sound verbs, fataha, nasara, daraba, sami'a. Weak words we have wahaba, then wa'ada, and wasi'a. Then qala, zada, sha'a, da'a, hada, radiya, dhanna, dhalla, massa. And on the pattern of dhanna today we saw dhalla, dhilla. Okay. Then we have been doing the weak verbs in the mazidi form. Allama, hasaba, aslama, ikhtalafa, istaghfara. And in allama we have done walla. And in hasaba we have done nada. And aslama we have done aqama, alqa, and adwalla. So today we are going to do ata. And ata is again on the fourth form. Ata is to come, and ata means to give. right? So ata has a ya in the end, and that's why it will follow the pattern of what hada was following. So hada, hadaw, hadaita, walla, wallaw, wallaita, nada, nadaw, nadaita, alqa, alqaw, alqaita. Same, we have ata, ataw, ataita, ataitum, ataitu, and ataina. Right? So when the ending is ya, it is going to be the same pattern like it ends with hada. Right? So ata, ataw, ataita, ataitum, ataitu, and ataina. Right? So this is the past tense conjugation. And let us take some spoken Arabic words along with this. So hal ata, did he give? Somebody can answer.
Naam ata.
Naam ata. Yes, he gave. Hal ataw, did they all give?
Naam ataw.
Yes, they all gave. Hal ataita, did you give?
Naam ataitu.
Right, now all of you can answer. Hal ataitum?
Naam atayna.
Mashallah, mashallah. Now what are we going to give? Zakat, right? So now the question is, hal ataz zakat? That ya will not be pronounced. Hal ataz zakat? Hal ataz zakat?
Naam ata zakat.
Hal atuz zakat?
Naam atuz zakat.
Mashallah. Now it will be the second person, the first person. Hal ataytaz zakat?
Naam ataitu zakat.
Right. Now all of you all can answer. Hal ataytumuz zakat?
Naam atayna zakat.
Mashallah, mashallah. May Allah Ta'ala accept all your zakats.
Amin.
Ameen. Ameen.
Okay. So now coming to the present tense, like we had yahdi, yahduna, then we had yuwalli, yuwalluna, yunadi, yunaduna, yulqi, yulquna. The same pattern we have yu'ti, yu'tuna, yu'ti, yu'tuna, right? And the second person we have tu'ti, tu'tuna. And like we had for amanu, uminu, here we have uti, and for plural we have nutti. Here we'll have a jerk in nutti, and uti we don't have a jerk, right? Like we had for uminu and nu'minu, right? Same thing, because of the here it is going to pattern, the initial pattern will follow like amana. Okay, so this is again like a revision. So let's go to the question answers. Hal yu'ti, is he giving?
Naam yuti.
Hal yu'tuna, are they all giving?
Naam yutun.
Hal tu'ti, are you giving?
Naam uti.
Naam, uti. So remember, this is uti, not uti, uti. And all of you can now be ready for the last. Hal tu'tuna, are you all?
Naam nuti.
MashaAllah. Again, that was past tense. Now we are in the present tense, and we are giving zakat in the present tense also. So, hal yu'tiz zakat?
Naam yuti zakat.
MashaAllah. Hal yu'tuna zakat?
Naam yutuna zakat.
MashaAllah. Hal tu'tiz zakat?
Naam uti zakat.
Right, now all of you can be ready. Hal tu'tuna zakat?
Naam nuti zakat.
MashaAllah. Taqabbalallahu zakatakum. MashaAllah. May Allah accept.
Ameen.
Amin.
Okay, so now we come to the order of what is going to, how the order is coming for ata. Ata means to give. Yuti, he is giving, and it becomes ati. That here is dropped, and here again you see that in spite of being an order, there is no sukun, because the here has been dropped and it is converted to a kasra. Ati. Okay, ati means to give. So when you have to give an order to somebody, you say ati, give me this. Ati ni, give me. Rabbana ati na, ati na. Okay, so all these words you already know, but now when learning with grammar, you just remember how it is coming, right? So Rabbana atina fid dunya, we say this day in and day out. So this is coming from an order. Ati, give, na, us. Okay. So this is how the order is formed. And the like we have ihdi, ihdina, ihdi, ihdu for the plural, walli, wallu for the plural, nadi, nadu for the plural, and alki, alqu. Same way we have ati, atu, right? So we have to, if we have to ask a lot of people to give something, then we would say atu, and that's why it will be atuz zakat. Give, all of you all give zakat, atuz zakat. Okay. If you have to order everybody to give zakat, we will say atuz zakat. And when we have to say the negation part, la tu'ti and la tu'tu. So ati, atu, la tu'ti, la tu'tu. Okay, this is how it will be, and this is how the same pattern was followed for ihdi, ihdu, la tahdi, la tahdu. Now this is the mazid free form, and that's why we have dhamma coming here. Ati, atu, la tu'ti, la tu'tu. Okay, so now because we have the Rabbana Atina Fid Dunya memorized, this is going to be a little easy, right? Ati, uti,
Uti.
atu,
Nuti.
nuti, right?
Nuti.
So yeah, okay, you have to take that jerk there, right? So with this, we say la tu'ti, don't give.
La uti.
Right. So we can say don't give bribes. Right. La tu.
La nuti.
Mashallah. Right. Alhamdulillah. Now we will come to the fa'il, that is the active participle, the one who gives. So one who gives will be called mu'tin. Mu'tin. Jo deta hai, the person who is giving, the giver. The giver is mu'tin. And the thing that is given is mu'ta. Mu'ta, right? With that year coming back. This pattern we had with mu'min and mu'man, right? But with this ya coming, this ya will come back in the passive participle. And ita'un, ita'un means the act of giving. Ita az-zakat. So mu'tin, mu'ta, and ita'un. It can be because it is a noun. Ita'un. Okay. So that is the so we come to the spoken Arabic. Hal anta mu'tin.
Naam ana mu'tin.
Hal antum mu'tuna. All of you can answer.
Naam, nahnu mu'tuna.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Mutuna.
MashaAllah. So with this, the feminine form becomes atat, like we had nada, nadat, right? So the wow becomes atat, she gave, and tu'ti is she gives. Yu'ti, tu'ti. Tu'til hikmatu man yasha, he gives his hikmah to whomever he wishes. Yu'ti. Okay, tu'ti. That is the complete stable. So ata, yu'ti, ati, mu'tin, mu'ta, and ita'un. Right? So this is, we have to memorize the table of ata, and they all give zakat. So just translate that into Arabic. They all give zakat.
Atuz zakata.
Atuz zakata. They all give zakat. Translate into English. Atahumullahu min fadlihi. Atahumullahu min fadlihi. What is the translation? Somebody do it. Atahum, gave them, Allah gave them, min fadlihi, from his fadl. Hal atayta zakah. This you already seen. Yes, na'am ataytu zakah. Okay, so the other verb which is on the same pattern is aza, means to harm somebody. He harmed, which is similar in pattern to the word that we saw ata today. Instead of ta, we have a za there, ata. So it will be ata, Atau, ataita, ataitum, ataitu, ataina, and atat. Sorry, aza. So aza, azau, azaita, azaitum, azaitu, azaina. And the present tense will be what? Like we had for ata, yuti. So uzi and uzu. Okay.
Yuzu.
Uzi, yuzu, right? Yuzu, uzi, yuzu, and the second person will be what? Ata, what?
Tuzi.
Tuzi,
Tuzi.
tuzi, right? Tuzi and
Tuzina.
tuna. Then we have uzi, not uzi, uzi and nuzi.
Tuzi.
Okay. Then for order we have what? Adi,
Azi.
Azin.
Azi.
Adi,
Azin.
not Azin, Adi.
Azi.
Kapana Ati, Ati na.
Ati.
Azi हो जाएगा.
Azi.
Right. And the plural will be Azu.
Azu.
La tuzi,
La tuzi. La tuzu.
right? And active participle
Mauzi.
muzi and
Mauzi.
muza, right?
Mauzi.
And iza on. We know iza. Iza
Yes.
maddo is used in Urdu also. Iza, right? So with this now the patterns, you know how the words are formed, right? Iza on. Okay. So since we have taken the two things, we will go to the next word. Is simple. It is ihtada. 9D is ihtada. Sorry, this is I think again the wait. The grammar part has to come. So 10D grammar, 10A Quran, and okay, I think I have to just open that. Just a moment. Just a moment. I'll just open that and okay. So this word is ihtada today. We have seen hada already. Now ihtada is on ifta'ala pattern. Ifta'ala is ikhtalafa. So we have it on that pattern. It has an extra hamza and a ta. Hada we have already seen, and the pattern is going to be same, but the initial part is going to be different. So ihtada, the last has a ya, so it will be ihtadaw, ihtada, ihtadaw, ihtadaita, ihtadaitum, ihtadaitu, ihtadaina. Right? So like we had hada, hadaw, hadaita, hadaitum, hadaitu, hadaina, we just have to change the initial part. Ihtada, ihtadaw, ihtadaita, ihtadaitum, ihtadaitu, ihtadaina. Rest all is going to remain same. Like we had hada, hadaw, walla, wallaw, nada, nadaw, alqa, alqaw. Same way, and ihtada, ihtadaw. Okay. So ihtada, ihtadaw, ihtadaita, ihtadaitum, ihtadaitu, and ihtadaina. Hal ihtada, is he guided?
Naam. Ihtada.
Yes, he is receiving guidance. Hal ihtadaw, are they all guided?
Naam. Ihtadu. Ihtadaw.
Hal ihtadaita,
Naam. Ihtadaitu.
ihtadaitu. Now all of you can answer. Hal ihtadaitum,
Naam.
Tadaina.
may Allah keep us on the guidance. Ameen. Right. So now we have the present tense. Like we had yahdi, yahduna, tahdi, tahduna, ahdi, and nahdi. We have Yahtadi, yahtaduna, tahtadi, tahtaduna, ahtadi, and nahtadi. Right? So it is similar to hada, just the initial part is going to change, but here we don't have a dhamma, we have a fatha itself. So like that, yahdi, yahduna, yuwalli, yuwalluna, yunadi, yunaduna, yulqi, yulquna, yahtadi, yahtaduna. So we have yahtadi, yahtaduna, tahtadi, tahtaduna, ahtadi, and nahtadi. So let's have a spoken thing again. Hal, this should be hal, not hali, because there is no hamza here. Hal yahtadi, is he guided or is he being guided?
Naam yahtadi.
Hal yahtaduna,
Naam yahtaduna.
hal tahtadi, are you guided?
Naam ahtadi.
Alhamdulillah. Now all of you can answer. Hal tahtaduna.
نعم
نهتدي
نهتدي
Ahtadi.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. May Allah keep us, all of us, on guidance.
آمين
Ihtada. Present tense is yahtadi. So now the order is going to be ihtadi. Like we had ihdi, we just have ihtadi, right? Ihtadi. Like ikhtalafa, we have ikhtalif. So that way we have ihtadi. The ya becomes a kasra, okay, because of the sukun. Ihtada, yahtadi, ihtadi, but ihtadi ya is dropped and it becomes ihtadi. We have ihdi, ihdu, walli, wallaw, nadi, nadaw, alki, alqaw, ihtadi, ihtadaw. Right? So ihtadi, ihtadaw, la tahtadi, la tahtadaw. Receive guidance, receive you all guidance. Ihtadu. La tahtadi, la tahtadu. It is simple. Just the initial part is what is you have to keep it the same. Ihtad. Now we have active participle. Right? We have mukhtalif and mukhtalaf. We have muhtadin, and you can put muhtada. It will be, but they have put a dash there. So and the verbal noun is ihtidaun, ikhtilafun, ihtidaun. Okay. So muhtadin, the one who received guidance, is already passive. That's why there is no other passive word there. Ihtidaun, to receive guidance. Right. So we'll go to the questions again. Hal anta muhtadin?
Naam ana muhtadin.
MashaAllah. Now all of you can answer. Hal antum muhtadun?
نعم نحن مهتدون
Alhamdulillah. Okay. So now the feminine form would be ihtadat, like we have hadat, we have ihtadat, and the feminine present tense will be tahtadi on the same pattern. Right. So this is chart for us. Ihtadu, ihtada, yahtadi, ihtadi, muhtadin, and ihtidaun. Right. So what we have to remember is ihtadu and ihtadat and yahtadi. Right. So this table we have to memorize. They all are guided. Hum yahtadun. Then we have wala yahtaduna sabila. All of them are not guided on the way. Halihtadu sabila. Are they guided on the way? You can say naam.
Naam.
Sabila. Right. So here you can add sabila. In ata we had added zakat. Here you can add sabila to complete the sentence. The other word that we have is ibtaga. Ibtaga is to desire, which is chahna. So ibtaga will become ibtagaw, ibtagaita, ibtagaitum, ibtagaitu, ibtagaina. Right? For the past tense. And from the present tense, it will be what? Yabtagi, yabtagu. Tabtagi, tabtagu. Abtagi, nabtagi. Okay. And for the order, it will be ibtagi, ibtagu, la tabtagi, la tabtagu. And the active participle would be mubtagin, right? And
مبتغى
ibtigha is the verbal noun, right? So ibtigha amardatillah, they are desiring the rizwan of Allah, the happiness of Allah. Ibtigha. So we should be seeking that. Seeking something is also ibtigha. So desiring or seeking something is ibtigha. Okay, so alhamdulillah, we have covered the two two sessions today, but I wanted to cover the complete story today. So inshallah, next time we'll see how it is. Since a lot of words were similar, we just slightly went fast because there were too many ayat. It is almost one page that we did today. So it was a lot of content, but since it was repeated, we were able to do it. Right? Was it okay, or was it too fast today?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Next time it will not be so fast because today we covered almost one page, a little less than 2-3 lines less than a page. So that's why it would have been a little faster. But most of it is now revision, just a little differences. And in fact, the verbs, the grammar part also is alhamdulillah not so difficult now. Right. So, so any questions for today's story or for the grammar?
Please revise this Mazi of Ata and Mazifi Ata. What is the difference?
Ata is, I'll just write that. I'll just share the screen on the whiteboard. We had done this before.
Looks similar, no?
Yeah. So one is Ata and one is Ata. One is Ata with a, I'll take a bigger one. One is a Ta with a Hamza here, right? One is Ata and the second one is A Ta. Both have a Khada Zabar. Right, so here this means to come. C-O-M.
This is Mujarrifi.
This is this is Mazid Fi. So this is Ata, means to give. The meaning is different. Ata and Ata. Ata means to come and Ata means to give. Ata Nasrullah, came, help of Allah, right? Ata Nasrullah, and Ata means give, right? And with that we have Ati as the order of that. So if I put it in English, here it will be.
Here in first case, what is the Arab on this Ta?
Ata, it will be Khada Zabar only because this is Ya Maksura, no? This is Alif Maksura. This Ya is Alif Maksura. So that's why even if you don't write any Arab, it will be Ta only. Ta, and this is Ata. It will be Khada Zabar only. But that Khada Zabar is for us Indians. The Arabs don't write it because the Alif Maksura itself indicates that it is a sound. Okay. So that's why in our Masaf you'll find this. But whenever there is a Ya here, it can never be Musi, no? It will always be Musa. With this Alif Maksura, it is always a sound.
So what is the pronunciation in this first and second? First is Ata.
Ata, it is come.
First is Ata, no?
Ata, with the Hamza. And this is Khada Alif. Ata.
This Ati. Second is
Ta. This is Alif Maksura. This will always be have a sound.
Ata.
Ata, that's right.
So pronunciation will be same or different?
Ata and Ata, O and A. First is Ota and second is Ata.
Double A.
It has a Khada Alif. No, it is like Amina and Amina. Amana. That way. We have already done Amana, which is two.
Ata and Ata.
Ata and Ata, right. We have just 1 minute to go for the second session to get over. So any quick questions you can ask?
Yubayyin. How it becomes this? It should be Yubayyinan, according to grammar.
Yubayyin, yeah, but it is some un is hidden there. So ein yubayyin, but they have not written that. That's why there's a sukun. It is in jussive case with a sukun.
Or is it because of that next word? So it is tajweed to ease the letter of tajweed.
It is not tajweed the link. No. It is in jussive case. Jussive case comes in imperative. In imperative form, jussive case comes.
To be. This is not tajweed.
No, not because of tajweed. No. It is not because